My next guest tonight is a two-time WNBA champion, two-time MVP, and Olympic gold medalist. She's just written her first book called Dear Black Girls, How to Be True to You.
Like, I poured my heart out into it, and to see people pour themselves back into me, I'm forever grateful for this.
This thing has already gotten on the charts.
It's a New York Times bestseller.
It says, I see you, I got you, this book is for you.
A'ja Wilson is not only a dominant force on the basketball court, off the court, she's also a vocal advocate for social justice, anti-bullying, education around dyslexia, and the recognition of Black women in America.
When A'ja was a young child, she had a school project. And one of the questions was, what do you want to be, of course, when you want to grow up? And she said she wanted to be an author and an illustrator. But I had no idea the depths of how the book would be written.
It's the hopes and fears and dreams of an asthmatic, dyslexic, confused, goofy, introverted pastor's granddaughter from small-town South Carolina who was the ultimate late bloomer.
Just knowing that this is something that she manifested all those years ago, and now to see it really come to fruition was like, wow, okay, we're here for it.
Ooh, Dear Black Girls. This was my baby. This was kind of like the one that I'm like, oh no, I kind of like really let it all out.
There's so much to A'ja Wilson that it's not enough for her to contain it inside of her. She has to share who she is, who she's becoming, so she can tell other young Black girls it's okay. It's okay to go through some things. It's okay to be successful.
It was kind of like a therapy session writing it. I relived, I opened up and like turned a whole nother leaf within myself that I was so happy that I was able to share with the audience.
I really feel like everybody should read the book. White, Black, female, male, just gives a different perspective. It makes you see things differently.
To even have the foresight to understand the community and the specific community that she's reaching out to, I think it's brave.
I'm super proud that she was able to write this book because it was needed. I couldn't imagine like how my world or how my mindset would have changed if I had something like this to read growing up.
I love it because being someone that's dyslexic, it's very hard for me to read chapter books. So that's why I made sure that I turned it into kind of like a journal. Like if this had a spiral spine, it should be a journal, it could be a diary. And I wanted people to feel that. I wanted people to believe that like these are my words, like this is literally what I went through.
My girls read this book. I was excited to get their reaction when my daughter opened the box. And at the time, she was in the hospital, but she was reading A'ja's words about dealing with tough times.
What's 12 times 9? Go, now give me an answer. The shot clock's running.
There's a story in here that she talks about not being invited to a birthday party and how it made her feel and the words of encouragement that her mother gave her. And that's the thing, like as a mom, I realize how important it is that words of women, it really matters.
The book tour really blew me away because first time I saw it, I was looking at the cities, I was like, okay, so these cities don't have WNBA teams, like, how do they know me? Do they know me? I was like, there's people gonna come.
It was very important for her to go to these cities because she needed to see and to feel that I'm more than a basketball player. She knows it, I know it, her dad knows it, and the turnout was remarkable.
When I was signing you guys' books, I was like, is it really gonna be this many people? And then I look out and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a blessing.
People that gravitated to me as an author, not even a basketball player, I think that's what made it truly special because it's like, we didn't have a clue that you were really good at basketball, but we just love the things that you wrote about, and now we're fans.
And she signed every book. Every book.
We have to be on platforms like this because a lot of people don't see me like that. And I always say if you can see her, you can be her. Representation matters. We have to be seen in these spaces, getting a seat at the table.
A'ja Wilson has been named one of the Time's 100 most influential people.
Nike and A'ja Wilson just announced a signature shoe.
She has been eloquent, she has been beautiful, she has been strong, and she is a champion.
Not only is she a terrific hooper, she is also a New York Times best-selling author.
And it was just so much fun like writing it, but I would have to say I had a lot of fun reading it for my audiobook. I feel like that is where you really saw me. So many people were just like, Asia, it felt like I was on the phone with you. And I'm like, great, like I want it to be that.
This is not a playbook. It's not a self-help book. It's not 10 ways to become a girl boss or 10 ways to become a champion. If anything, it's just the diary of somebody out there who looks like you saying, hey, I feel you. I've been through it too.
Over time, I think she was able to grasp that whole concept of being confident, being strong, speak for other people if you need to. And I think a lot of that came about from my mom.
I would have to say the hardest thing I had to write about was my grieving period with my grandmother. I feel like that was a part that I didn't even know that I was really still going through. I thought it was something that I was over and something I grew out of. I never knew how much people really needed to know that. You don't grow out of grief. It doesn't just disappear over time. It's still always with you. And it's like how you navigate that is what makes you the strong individual that we are today.
Asia has taken this moment and she's run with it in a way that I think is so positive, again, for our sport, for young girls to model themselves after. Her game speaks for itself. She's literally the best player in the world.
Asia Wilson playing like an MVP, WNBA Most Valuable Player Award, searches spiking 250% in the U.S.
It's a big responsibility for people to kind of see that, are you the face, are you the voice? And when everyone's looking at like a stature or a silhouette of what they want to follow. I love it because I'm me. Like what you see is what you get. Like I didn't get here by changing the way I look or wanting the way I talk or wanting to do a different thing. Like I did it literally my way and I'm going to continue to do it my way.
You know, I tell Asia, you know, wear your crown proudly. It may tilt, it may act like it's gonna fall off, but it won't fall.
We don't want to be the angry Black woman or the aggressive Black woman. We just want to be seen as human beings in this world. We just want to be heard when we speak. We just want to be respected. I don't want to have to be unapologetic for you to hear me. I want to be able to whisper if I want to.
I think the vulnerability of Asia Wilson has always been a part of who she is, which is what makes her so relatable and what makes her so easy to love.
I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great and looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate. Because that's how I get the best out of my kid.
I've been angry and humiliated and belittled and unheard. I've been down and depressed and lost at certain points in my life. But you know what? It didn't stop me. It didn't deter me. It didn't shut me up. I've taken many losses in my life, but my voice is undefeated.
I am so proud because I know what she does. I know how she feels. And I know how just her being able to write this, share her story with the world. She knows that, and she prays about it, that she's hoping that she is impacting the lives of someone just through her writing. Because this is Asia through and through. And she's in a very good place in her life right now. And it shows. So I tell you, I'm proud of this little Black girl right here. She's mine.